The simple way to lose weight. If you were to boil weight loss down into its simplest possible parts, then the main take-home point would still be to eat less, and to specifically eat less of the bad stuff. What counts as bad stuff? Simple carbs, which just so happens to be most of the empty calories as well. In other words, if you eliminated processed foods like sausage rolls and pork scratchings, along with all the sweets and treats like crisps, chips, chocolate, cake and candy, then you would be able to enjoy a diet with far fewer calories immediately, and you would at the same time not be losing anything important from your food intake. This is not rocket science, it's pretty straightforward. While you're at it, make sure you get rid of any excessive sauces, so that means squirting large amounts of mayonnaise onto your food, and certainly sugary drinks. Did you know that a glass of Coke has as much sugar as eating 2 Cadbury's cream eggs? So remove the bad stuff and where possible, just replace with a vegetable like a carrot, or a fruit like a banana. In fact, make a conscious effort to make sure that you are getting more nutrients. That guideline about fruit and vegetable? Follow it. This doesn't have to be complicated, or a slow process. It can be as simple as ordering a smoothie from Starbucks in the morning instead of a cappuccino, which is also filled with sugar FYI. Even if it just means taking a vitamin tablet, this is one of the most important points I want to ram home. Once you start getting more nutrients in your diet, you will start to feel more energetic, more lively, and much more positive. We're in a vicious cycle right now where stress, and a modern diet, has made it increasingly difficult to get out of our rut and take back control. You can't force your way out of this kind of lifestyle with sheer force, you need a quick and easy win. Getting more nutrients is that win. Trust me, you start getting more vitamin C and D in your diet, and you'll regain that spring in your step that will then help to motivate you toward all the other things you need to do. Simple tracking. This has immediately improved your health so that you feel more energetic and will be consuming fewer calories. But if you're in the process of swapping out unhealthy foods for healthy ones, it's still possible that you might be consuming too many calories. Just because something is healthy, that doesn't mean it can't also be calorific. And just because something is healthy, that doesn't mean it can't make you fat. The perfect example is the avocado. This is absolutely packed with goodness, and is a great healthy fat that will slowly release sugar throughout the day. This is the ideal breakfast food instead of a sugary cereal that will spike your blood and destroy your fasted state. The problem? Avocados are also quite high in calories. This is why it can still be a good idea to track your calories a little to get an idea of what is going in and out. But we're going to do it in a way that is much more easygoing and something you're more likely to stick with. The idea is simple. You will calculate the amount of calories you consume over a few average days and the amount you burn over a few average days. Now you know a rough target, and you will have an idea of what some of the staples in your diet do to your calorie total. This is when my wife and I stopped buying a tasty shop-bought pizza after realizing it was well in excess of 1,000 calories each. Now you'll have more of a feeling for when you're getting close to your threshold, and you'll know which healthy alternatives you can snack on to tide you over. Ride the tide. Better yet? Make your meals consistent. If you make your meals consistent, then you can know precisely how many calories are in it, as near as possible at least, and you won't need to constantly scan and calculate. Didn't I just say how a program that's too rigid is folly though? Well yes, but you see this is where the clever part of this diet comes in. The idea is that for the first 2 meals of the day you are going to eat in a manner that is entirely predictable. If you do switch your lunchtime dessert, then it will be something that is pre-approved, which won't spike your blood sugar, and which isn't too high in calories. The aim is to keep these meals very clean, very nutritious, and very low in calories. They should also be things that satisfy you though, and things that you can easily acquire and prepare. If that means buying from a salad bar or similar, then so be it. What's the best exercise to lose weight? Most people now agree that it probably has something to do with high-intensity interval training. This is a training format that challenges you to divide your time spent in the gym between high-intensity bursts of sprinting or otherwise exerting yourself at 100% MHR and periods of active recovery at around 70%. But what if you could do something to make this method even more impressive? How can you get even greater results from what is already a very effectual tool? The answer is to use concurrent training. What is concurrent training? Simply, concurrent training is a form of training that combines cardio and resistance into one exercise. This is why it can also sometimes be referred to as resistance cardio. The idea is then that you are going to perform some kind of rapid movement, but while doing it, you will be pushing or pulling against some kind of weight or resistance. An obvious example of this would be to ride a stationary bike, but to increase the resistance setting to 10 so that you have to use more strength in your muscles to turn the pedals. Other examples of concurrent training include certain forms of calisthenics, like clapping push-ups or push-ups, as well as boxing, swimming, rowing on a heavy setting, or the kettlebell swing. The kettlebell swing is of particular interest here, because it allows you to lift quite a heavy weight in a manner that is conducive to long sequences of exertion. Why it matters. So why is concurrent training so important? What's exciting about it? There are a couple of things that make this such a great tool. The first is that by combining resistance and cardio in one routine, you are actually significantly increasing the challenge. You'll find it harder to move your limbs due to the resistance, and thus you'll need more fast twitch muscle fiber. This requires more energy, and so you'll burn more calories than performing the same movements without the resistance. Better yet though, when you perform concurrent training, you'll be protecting your muscle from breakdown. HIIT does this to an extent already, but when you include resistance work, you effectively send a strong signal to the body that you need the muscle, and it's not just dead weight slowing you down. In biological terms, you will be breaking down muscles, and flooding them with metabolites, both of which are signals that encourage growth. You'll produce more growth hormone and more testosterone, and these both trigger growth and fat loss. Better yet, building muscle is great for weight loss goals. That's because muscle makes you look more toned and honed, and is often the quicker way to get the physique you want. Moreover, muscle is metabolically active, meaning that you burn more calories by simply having muscle. If you add muscle work into your routine, you'll burn more fat even when you're asleep. It's not just about the food. Losing belly fat is not just about the food. And it's not just about exercise either. What I'm talking about is your entire lifestyle, and everything that you are doing around your diet. Remember, your lifestyle is likely what got you into this state in the first place. And it's probably what's making it so hard to get out. We've already seen how coming home stressed from work makes you more likely to binge eat, and then store fat more rapidly. This is a combination of factors, but even comes down to the direct and precise action of cortisol on the body. So it stands to reason then that if you want to reduce belly fat, you should look at combating any workplace stress, or other stress for that matter. This is easier said than done perhaps, but it's important to recognize just what a profound impact stress has on us. If you can remove stress from your life, then you'll have far more energy for working out and eating right. There are a few things you can do to this end. One is to take up meditation, or another form of practice that will help you to combat stress generally. Meditation can significantly improve your mood, help you to cope with stress better, and even make you smarter. This is a great tool to help fortify you and defend you against things going wrong that can prevent you from continuing your new healthy lifestyle. Another tip is to look for ways to make your life a little easier. One obvious culprit may be the commute. Could you make this easier in any way? Perhaps with a car share? You might even decide that the job you're doing is not for you. If it's not leaving you with the energy or the willpower you need to look after your own health, then guess what? This job is not good for you and you should probably quit. Prioritize your health. More ways to get your body on your side. Of course, it should go without saying that you should also avoid any toxins that might damage your metabolism. This particularly applies to smoking and to alcohol, both of which can really stand in your way of successful and healthy weight loss, not to mention ruining your energy levels. Another tip though is to make sure that you are getting enough sleep. We actually burn a lot of sleep during the night, but what's even more important is the fact that sleep is what sets your rhythms and begins the cycle between catabolic and anabolic. Sleep is the ultimate anabolic state. If you are skimping out then, you're not going to be performing at your best, and you won't have the energy or the willpower to stick to the new regime. Try to get 7 to 8 hours every night and keep it systematic so that you have the same bedtime schedule at the same time. The body likes routine. Another tip is to consider investing in a daylight lamp. These are alarms that wake you up with a wavelength similar to that of the sun, and which get brighter slowly like a sunrise. This is great for combating SAD, seasonal affective disorder, and helping us to feel more awake and alert first thing in the morning. Want one more trick for getting yourself firmly into a catabolic/focused state in the morning? Take a cold shower. This also happens to be great for stimulating the production of testosterone. Make cardio part of your routine. Some people love running and are absolutely addicted to it. Everyone else struggles to understand how they possibly got to this point. After all, running is slow, painful, boring and makes you feel sick. What's to like? A lot of us want to love running because we know it's good for us. We want to be fitter, we want to lose weight, and we want to spend more time outside. But when we try it, it's just too unbearable to stick with. So what can you do to solve the problem and actually get into running properly? How to learn to love running. The first thing to do is assess what you're doing wrong. In many cases, the problem is that we try too hard to start losing lots of weight right away and to get into shape. We are under the illusion that in order to burn fat or improve our fitness, we need to be training at a level that is very uncomfortable. However, this is very much the wrong way to look at it. After all, when you start running, if it is something you've not done regularly before, then you're immediately adding to your routine and doing more than you did before. You are immediately improving your health and burning more calories than you would otherwise. That alone is enough. What's more, is that this is enough to improve your ability to run, which means you can do a little bit more comfortably in future. If you head out right now to go for a run, and you try to run as fast and as far as you can, then you'll come back feeling like you achieved something but also feeling completely beaten up by your training and completely in pain. Instead then, try to go for a run just to enjoy the run. Jog at a pace that feels comfortable and set out to explore the area. Wear comfortable shoes and when you're ready to come home, turn around and come back. This is something you'll now actually want to do again. Make it simple. The other thing to do is to make sure that the type of workouts you're using are ones that you can easily fit into your routine. This is the other problem with going for a 40-minute run. 40 minutes is a long time. And it's especially a long time when you add the extra washing you have to do, the fact you might get lost, and the fact that you need to shower and get changed. Instead, how about looking into a relatively beginner-friendly form of HIIT? HIIT has the advantage of being something you can use anywhere, and of being something that lets you burn a lot more calories and improve your health much more in a shorter space of time. This is something you can now conveniently fit into your routine, and thus actually stick with.